Hello everyone, you're watching AMN English. This is our special program in connection with the celebration of Ethiopian New Year. As you know, Ethiopian New Year is celebrated on different day from the Gregorian calendar. Today I am now joined by the Russian ambassador to Ethiopia, Evgeny Trihon, and my colleague Alali Temasgen here. We're going to discuss how Ethiopians celebrate their New Year's and Russians and bilateral relations between the two countries. Stay with us to the end of our program. Well, Ambassador, I really appreciate your time. On behalf of Addis Media Network, I would like to extend my gratitude for your time and for your willingness to celebrate this Ethiopian New Year with us. The first thing that I would like you to tell us is it has been a number of years since you came to Ethiopia. How do you explain Ethiopians celebrating their New Year's, and what is your feeling?
First of all, let me thank you for your invitation. As far as your question is concerned, I have stayed in Ethiopia for more than 24 years. First coming here about 45 years ago.
Oh.
So you may believe that I had a good opportunity to celebrate Ethiopian New Year quite a lot of times in company with my Ethiopian friends, and that gave me a unique opportunity to witness the rich tapestry of Ethiopian culture, including the vibrant celebrations of this New Year, And Kotatash is a time of renewal, joy and community bonding. Over the years, I have been consistently impressed by the enduring traditions and the way Ethiopians continue to celebrate their heritage with such enthusiasm. And one of the most striking aspects of the holiday is the emphasis on the family and community. Let me say the emphasis on abronet.
Oh, yeah.
From the shared meals to traditional customs, it is clear that Ethiopians value these connections deeply. And the festive atmosphere, the delicious food, and the sense of togetherness make Nkotatash a truly memorable experience.
The reason why we chose Jonas ambassador is because he's just stayed here for a long time, and he has familiarized himself with the culture and so many things here in Ethiopia. And on top of that, Russia and Ethiopia have enjoyed a very bilateral, close relationship, and the people of the two countries are intermingled culturally and religiously. And we just, invited him, expecting that he will be telling us more about the celebration, Ethiopian New Year, and his experience as well. And Ambassador, I have a question. Ethiopia is the only country in the world now celebrating its New Year. How do you feel of it, and why Ethiopia is, lagging behind from other world countries?
Well, I don't think that Ethiopia is behind other countries. She is just younger than other countries, despite of her ancient history. And of course, keeping this tradition of celebrating New Year in September is really a great heritage of your culture. You may remember that in Russia as well, we have used to celebrate New Year in September up to the 17th century, when during the reign of our Tsar Peter the Great, we have turned to European calendar. Of course, there are many common features between our two cultures, and as well in the way we are celebrating the New Year as well. But of course, there are different nuances. Although there are certain cultural nuances, both Russian and Ethiopian New Year celebrations share a common thread. The emphasis on family, community, and the joy of togetherness. In both cultures, families gather to celebrate most often in their homes. Traditional meals featuring special dishes are prepared and enjoyed together. The exchange of gifts is another common practice, and it is symbolizing good wishes and prosperity for the coming year. Just like in Ethiopian culture, in our country there is a lot of music, dancing, and festive decorations on this day. And the main thing is that the people are looking forward to a new start, to a new hope, to a new bright future.
Great. Before giving the mic to you, I just want to add some question. When the new year emerges, the land is totally covered with flowers, booming. What kind of impression does it give to you when Ethiopian New Year comes? What kind of experience? What is your impression on the flowers booming during this time? And also, do you agree with the idea that Ethiopia is a 13 months of sunshine? Yes.
Well, what I can't say now because of the rainy season, but still, of course, it was an amazing slogan, the country of 13 months of sunshine, when I first heard it many years ago. And it coincided so that for the first time I came to your country just on the eve of 1972 Ethiopian calendar New Year. And really it was amazing for me to see the slopes of mountains, fields covered with mescal, the carpet of mescal, as we say. And really it was inspiring. It was inspiring. Although, of course, it is a great difference from the landscape in our country on the New Year. Because in our country on the New Year holiday days, everything is covered with snow. But be it mescal in your country or snow in our country, it looks like that both are symbolizing freshness, clearness, and really it gives a good hope for the better future in the coming new year.
Well, Ambassador, I'm going to ask you about the traditional cultural foods that are peculiar to Ethiopia. I hope you've tasted the traditional foods of Ethiopian, for example, doro wet and meat in the drink of edge and the kitfo. So, what is your feeling about the traditional foods, and which one is your favorite?
First of all, when I tasted it for the first time, I could characterize it by one word only: burning. Burning.
Okay.
But of course, it needs a certain time to get acquainted, to get adjusted, and to get being capacitated by this Ethiopian food, and to start getting joy of tasting it. Well, it would be rather difficult for me to mention any of Ethiopian foods which I have not tasted. But of course, I could mention those which I liked most of all. It is, of course, Chikona Tips,
Oh,
Shiro, and most of all, Yebe Galicha.
all right, that's good. What about Edge?
Tej, it's resembling highly the same type of drink prepared in Russian villages.
With vodka?
No, it's not. No, it's not katikal.
All right.
It's not arake. It is, in your language it is tej, in Russian it is called medavucha. The word
Medavucha?
the word which is deriving from the word honey.
Okay, it's made of honey.
It's made on the basis of honey.
All right.
And the tella is also done, but it is mainly based on grains.
Oh, that's great. Now let me take you to the relationship between the two countries. So Ethiopia and Russia have been in a strong relationship for years, particularly in recent years after the first and the second Russia-Africa summit. The two countries have just strengthened their relations in various areas. So in terms of their relations right now, can you tell us how it is progressing?
Our bilateral relations are of historically brotherly character, based on mutual trust and mutual help, solidarity. Of course, since this relationship is very old and long staying, it has passed through ups and downs. Of course, the apex of these relations was during the Soviet time, when the end of the Soviet time, when the basement of this relation was constituted by ideology, common ideology of socialism, building socialism, and so on. But after radical changes in our both two countries, for a certain time our relations, it is possible to say, were put on stopped on hold. It was not our wish. It was not somebody's bad will, but it was just a result of reality, because the two countries were mainly engaged in their internal hardships. Both countries had to overcome a lot of problems. Nevertheless, gradually, stage by stage, while we were overcoming our internal problems, it gave us better opportunities to return back to building our togetherness, to build up our cooperation in the interests of the two countries and the peoples of our countries. And of course, the great change came to life after 2018, after the new government here in Ethiopia came to power, headed by His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed. And I should stress that bilateral relations between countries, different countries, have many things to be laid in basement. But one of the main things is the level of mutual understanding, mutual relationship, and mutual trust between the leaders of the two countries. And to this respect, I should emphasize the highest level of mutual trust and understanding between the president of our country, Mr. Putin, and Dr. Abiy as the leader of FDRE. This relationship between the two leaders is laying a solid basis for the development of our cooperation and interaction practically in all spheres. And especially after the first and the second Russia-Africa summits, where the two leaders not only met for photo session, but have conducted very intensive and substantial mutual talks and exchanges of views. These two meetings, of course, were very of paramount importance for our present-day cooperation. The present-day level of cooperation between our countries is, I think, has already reached the late Soviet Union and Socialist Ethiopia relationship level, and maybe already surpassed it. Yeah. And we are aiming at new heights, at new results for the future benefits of our two countries and our peoples.
It seems that the leader of the two countries and even the people of the two countries are quite determined to further boost their bilateral ties in various fields.
You just said something wonderful in connection with the political connection between Ethiopian government and Russian government. But I am very much interested in knowing people-to-people relationship. You know, the Russian people and Ethiopian people are very connected in terms of marriage, in terms of religion as well. So how do you define this connection? And you are the typical example for this, because you lived here, you stayed here for about 45 years, and
not 45 years, it was the first time I came here.
Yeah, so you just anyway.
But in total, around 24, yeah.
You stayed here for a long time, yes. Yeah. So you are very good at speaking Amharic. Before explaining the question I have just raised, I just want you to, greet our audience and wish them a happy Ethiopian New Year in Amharic.
ቅድሚያ ውድ ኢትዮጵያውያን ተመልካቾቻችን እንኳን ለአዲስ ዓመት እንኳን ለእንቁጣጣሽ ደህና ደረሳችሁ ማለት እወዳለሁ። Of course, there are many similar things in the cultures of our two peoples, and one of the biggest evidences of our people-to-people relationship is the closeness and the similarity of this festive day and night celebration in our two countries.
Well, viewers, you are just watching AMN English, our special program in connection with celebrating Ethiopian New Year. Ambassador, let me take you to the industry ministers meeting. So the BRICS seem that it is giving countries new platforms to discuss cooperations, to discuss matters, to develop together. So in this regard, the BRICS is playing its crucial role in terms of bringing the countries across the world together for mutual development, for just common prosperity. So in this regard, would you mind telling us more about its significant role?
First of all, I would like to remind that all of us were happy to be witnesses of a great event this year, the admission of Ethiopia to full-fledged membership in BRICS. It is really a great event, both not only for Ethiopia, but for BRICS association as a whole as well. It is rather difficult to describe in few words what BRICS is, what it gives to Ethiopia, or what Ethiopia can give to BRICS. That's why I wouldn't try to give a full coverage of this event and everything which is connected to it, but just pinpoint and mention just few topics. For instance, as you have mentioned, 8 industry ministers of BRICS countries meeting has been held recently, and it was about strengthening multilateralism for equitable global development and security. BRICS is now given the countries better platforms for strengthening multilateral relations and developing together with nations across the globe. How the BRICS industry ministers meeting, for instance, took place in Nizhny Novgorod a couple of weeks ago. The figures cited by the Russian Minister of Trade and Industry, Anton Alikhanov, as the chairperson of this meeting, during the event testify to the successful development of cooperation between the countries of the association, which account for almost 34% of the territory of our planet and 45% of its population. Within the framework of the new polar world order, for example, according to the results of 2023, that is even before the expansion of BRICS countries, of BRICS association, Russia's total trade turnover with the countries of the association grew up by almost 28%. And came close to the mark of $300 billion US. In the first 5 years of 2024, that means of this year, it increased by 6.5%. In 2023, the contribution of BRICS to global GDP at purchasing power parity amounted about 36%, while the share of the so-called G7 countries decreased to 29%. So we can see that the overall economy's volume of BRICS member countries is growing steadily. So this is just one example to be mentioned. And actually, we can see the development of our cooperation within the framework of BRICS practically in every direction. For instance, this year, Russia, as the country chairing in the association, has planned more than 220 or 40 different events within BRICS framework. And one of our tasks for this year was to help the new members of BRICS association to smoothly enter the overall architecture, and it is a rather complicated architecture of BRICS association. And we're happy that our Ethiopian friends are making incredibly decisive efforts to do all the best to enter the life of BRICS as quickly as it is possible. It would not be a big secret to disclose if I say that every week we are seeing off different Ethiopian delegations which are leaving to Russia to participate in different BRICS events. And sometimes it's not a delegation per week, but 2 or 3 delegations per week. And I'm really happy to be able to facilitate this process. You may be sure that Russia will do in her turn all the best to help our Ethiopian friends to move further on this way.
Ambassador, in addition to what you said in terms of the relationship between the two countries and Ethiopia's membership to the BRICS bloc, I just want to know, and I hope the audience might be also interested in knowing the technology transfer the two countries, are having, and your country is very advanced at artificial intelligence. So how are you, transferring these skills and knowledge to Ethiopia?
As you have quite rightly noticed, Russia is among the leaders of this process. Of course, we are glad and we are happy to share our experiences, our knowledge with our friends, and Ethiopia being one of our closest friends. I wouldn't like to try to go into details of the area which I can't understand.
I understand.
Yes, but what I for sure can say is that our experts and specialists in artificial intelligence are really interested in establishing close cooperation with the Ethiopian partners. And I know that proper steps to this end are being made. And on the other side, I know that the Ethiopian specialists are also highly interested in getting the experience of Russian artificial intelligence science and skills. Just as a small example, artificial intelligence is applicable practically to all spheres of our life, be it security, smart cities, transport, medicine, agriculture, etc. And of course, banking sector and financial sector. Last week, that a group of our specialists in artificial intelligence who are specializing in rendering banking services was in Addis Ababa meeting with their partners and making arrangements for further development of their cooperation.
Let's now talk about your country's situation, overall situation, Russia's situation. Your country, Russia, is politically having a hard time because of the war between your country and Ukraine. Tell us about the overall situations. How is Russia now, and how is its relationship with Africa in particular, and the rest of the world in general?
Well, first of all, let me correct you a little bit. There is no officially proclaimed war between Russia and Ukraine. What is happening in Ukraine now, we are calling it special military operation. Of course, you are quite right saying that the times are not easy. Not for our country only, but actually for the whole world. It is a manifestation of the struggle of multilateral order on the one side, and the struggle of newly born centers of power.
Russia is still strong economically. So what is the secret behind it?
Unity of people. The unity of people, the unity of people and its leadership. And when you build this unity, you may be sure that you will overcome any type of pressure or any kind of possible sanctions and so on. were vigilant and were ready to struggle, even being encircled. And those who are trying now to sanction our country, first of all, we miscalculated the situation in our country. The goal was to cause unrest of people against the government. Nonsense. Nothing of that kind has happened and nothing could happen. For instance, in March, when President Putin was elected once again to the presidency, he has got around 88% support of voters.
Well, Ambassador, now let's talk about Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia and even the capital of Africa. And it's now progressing well. The corridor development and other big projects in the capital, Addis Ababa, has making the city more vibrant. So in terms of this, what is your observation, particular recent observation in terms of the beautification of the capital Addis Ababa and the corridor development and the overall activities of the city administration?
Well, in few words, while the corridor project is moving forward, being implemented, Medinachin more and more, the capital.
Yeah, the capital. That's no problem.
The capital is more and more living up to its name, Addis Ababa, the new flower. It really starts blooming, and what is symbolical, this blooming and flourishing is seen now on the eve of the New Year, on the eve of Meskel holiday, and really it is amazing and heart-taking. When I came here after a certain interval a few years ago, I could not recognize city. Because I remember that when I first came to Addis Ababa, it was a very cozy but village, a big, big village. When I came this time around 6 years ago, it was, this village turned to be a city, but some strange city. A mixture of styles, a mixture of buildings, something difficult to understand what it is. But now, during the last few months, what we see, it's really striking. It's really becoming a modern, comfortable, amazing, beautiful, and suitable for life city. Of course, I understand that not everything is going smoothly and easy. It is always like this when something new is introduced into our life, especially since the changes are affecting common livelihoods of many people. But I am sure that a short time will pass and all these negative sentiments will pass away, and the people will get used to a new style of life. They will be proud of being called Addis Ababans. And I'm really praising and I'm congratulating the city administration on this great result. It is really wonderful. And of course, I can't but mention that this great change was initiated by the Prime Minister Dr. Abiy, and this is one of the evidences of his wiseness as a statesman.
Well,
I and my colleague Jonas are producers of a program called Diplomatic Corner that is aired every week on Wednesday. You've been on the program many times. Do you frequently watch our TV, and especially the program that I have already mentioned?
I am watching what you are showing, especially when I am engaging, to check if there are any distortions. But really, frankly speaking, I am really thankful for you, for your good cooperation, and I do highly praise how you do it. I praise your professionalism, and it is really a pleasure for me any time to meet with you. It gives me a special pleasure today on the eve of in Kototash to wish you all the best in the coming new year. All the best to your program, good results, good successes, good health and prosperity for you personally and your families and all of your friends, as well as all the people of Ethiopia.
We wish our esteemed audience watching this program within and out of the country a very happy Ethiopian New Year. And I'm not concluding.
We've got a card, just Ethiopian New Year. This wish card for the ambassador. Now let's give this card to the ambassador. Just on behalf of Addis Media Network, Addis TV.
Thank you very much. Really, it's a great pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Wish you a great New Year, Ethiopian New Year, from Addis Media Network, Addis TV. Now, be seated. Let's have something. So everyone, that is it for now from AMN English. We have just celebrated the Ethiopian New Year with the Russian ambassador to Ethiopia, Evgeny Trahon. And it is quite a delicious food and drink that we have eaten. That are just food is peculiar to the Ethiopia. So this is great until we meet you next time with similar holiday celebrations. I would like to say a Happy New Year to you. I am Jonas Asras with Aleli Temesgen. Bye-bye for now.